Who's ready for story time with the finished article? Yes, people, this is the new show. This is the finished cut. This is where we discuss TV shows and movies. We review them, we give you our thoughts. We try and discuss as much as possible about that show. Hence why, are you ready for story time with the finished article? Before I get into it, I'm bringing my boy Shaz on. Yes, bro. Are you ready for story time with the finished article, bro?
Who isn't, bro? Who isn't? Let's do this, baby.
Yes, bro. So let's see. Yeah, we're going to be talking about Power as it shows. As you can see in the background, you can see Ghost in the middle, Tommy on his left, and Angela, and then you've got Kanan and Tasha on the other side. Those are probably the 6 main characters that we will discuss, but we'll discuss other characters like Julio, Tariq, Raina, Dre, and there's obviously other characters that will come to mind as we go along. So we're going to get this cracking and we're going to start talking from the first episode, basically. So obviously the first episode to me is where it all went wrong, right? No, and just hear me out, bro. Just hear me out. So the first episode, I'm saying it all went wrong because up until that point, everything was perfect for Ghost and Tommy. They had a successful drug business. They were killing it. You know, they were making loads of money. Ghost had his penthouse apartment with his wife and his 3 kids. He had Sean as his driver, who we'll get onto later. Obviously, Kanan's son. And then Tommy had his own place. They had a routine. Everything was going smoothly. They opened a nightclub to clean the money. They had the laundrettes and stuff like that. Now, you could see the cracks in the main drug business from the first episode because you could tell that Ghost wanted out, and that's why he was starting a nightclub. That's why he wanted to open more nightclub chains, right? And something else that drove him into that side after was obviously meeting Angela again after 18 years at the nightclub. Now, if he didn't meet Angela, half of what you see in episode in season 1 to 6 wouldn't happen, right? So she's a very key figure in the whole series, bro.
Yeah, in fact, to jump in on that point, I'm glad you brought that up. So one of the things I found interesting, because Shaz was the one that introduced me to the show, so I think we were just hanging out, and he said, "What do you want to watch?" Yeah. So I got confused. So when he put it on, I got it confused with the other Marvel one. What's it? Cade. I can't remember which show it was.
I don't know what you're talking about now, bro. I'll be honest with you. I don't know. I didn't know there was a Marvel one that was similar to Power, bro.
No, I thought it was a Marvel TV show, so I got it confused.
Oh, anyway, right, okay. Do you mean Iron Fist?
Yes, Iron Fist.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, I get you. Because when I was talking to you about watching Power,
Luke Cage, yeah, that's
Luke Cage, yeah, that's the one. Because Luke Cage had just started around the time I told you about this, didn't it?
Yeah, so my brother was watching Luke Cage at the time, so I thought maybe you were trying to get me into that. So I was like, okay, let me so I watched the first episode, and you know the funny thing is to tie it back to what Shaz was saying. So basically, Tommy and Ghost started way back under Kanan, who will come on to later. But they were basically trying to get out of the business. Well, Ghost was trying to get out. Now, what he was trying to do was keep the nightclub there, interestingly enough. But when they talk about Lobos, I was thinking, who is this Lobos guy? Ivo Ruiz and all these guys came into. Lobos was the guy that was employing.
So basically, I'll run it down for people who obviously who have probably watched it, but it's been a long time, and you may not recognize some of the names that we're dropping. So Lobos was the connect, as they call him. He's the one that supplied Tommy and Ghost with their products, basically. And then you have Tommy and Ghost, who then had their runners who sold that product for them, basically. Now, as you mentioned, just the name there, Luis. He's the guy who wears that hat, and if you watch the first episode, right at the start, obviously Ghost is at the nightclub, and Tommy's in the back where they've abducted that guy and his girlfriend
Yeah.
because they robbed one of their runners, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I actually forgot about all this because it's been so long since I watched it. So I watched season 1 to 4, I think it was, in about 2 weeks,
Yeah.
just before season 5 came out. And then obviously I watched season 5 as it was out, coming out weekly, and the same with season 6. So since then, I've not watched it back. I've not reran it all, obviously. But I watched episode 1 and 2 yesterday to get them a bit more fresh in my head. Now, what I actually forgot was, I remembered someone robbed them, but I actually forgot it was Lewis that was causing all this. He was the one, like, because if in the first 2 episodes you hear him say they know our plan, they know our schedule, they know our system. The basic, this person who's doing this knows everything about us. So he's obviously one of the people that are doing it for us. And then obviously they find out it's Lewis, and I think he gets killed there in the first 3 episodes, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's killed off pretty much.
Because I haven't watched the 3rd episode. In the first 2, they haven't killed him. I think in the 3rd one, they find out it is him, and I think they kill him in the 4th, maybe. I think that's how it is.
Yeah.
But another character I thought was very key in the first few seasons was Julio.
Yes.
I thought he was a great character. When they killed him off, bro, I was gutted. I was very gutted. He was a great character. He was obviously Tommy's right-hand man.
Well, we know who to blame for that.
Who?
Dre.
Oh, don't get me started on that little rat, bro. I'll get on to him later, bro, but not right now, bro. I can't deal with him right now. I just can't. Right? He had the best exit to the season that they could have given him. That's all I'm saying. They did an Undertaker Kane on him. They did what Undertaker did to Kane on him. They burnt him.
Burnt him alive.
Yeah, in prison as well. They got him done in prison. And it was who was the guy that was in prison that did it? Them 2 guys that got arrested.
Oh, Spanky and who's the other guy?
2-Bit and Spanky, that's the one. Yeah, they're the ones that done him. Because he's the one that Dre is just a...
Well, actually, let's rephrase that. Spanky helped, but then Spanky bailed because
Spanky snitched, bro. And Tommy killed him. And then 2-Bit got out, and 2-Bit said, "G, bro. 2-Bit is a proper soldier, man. He went to prison. He didn't snitch on nobody, and he still got out.
Yeah.
Didn't Tommy kill him though?
No, Tommy didn't kill him. Tommy killed Spanky.
I know he killed Spanky, but did he not kill 2-Bit as well?
No.
2-Bit got out, and that was it. He just got
out because 2-Bit's last conversation was with Ghost, because obviously the whole conversation was they wanted to kill Dre, but then Dre somehow got out, and it was all fucked up.
He went into solitary, didn't he? Yeah.
Which is why Tasha got pissed off that Dre was killed, because they wanted to plant the murder of all this on Dre, but Dre was there.
They wanted to pin Ghost's murder on Dre.
Yeah.
But we'll get on to like the end of it later, man. But obviously, leading up to it, bro, I think there was a lot of to and froing between Ghost and Tommy. Now, a lot of it was caused because they weren't communicating with each other properly. So what I mean by that is obviously Ghost got back with Angela. He started seeing her behind his wife's back, moved in with her for a bit, and then he moved back in with his wife, I believe.
Yeah, so do you know that whole transformation? And I have to say, this has to be the most compelling views I've ever seen. So a guy that started out in the drug business went, by the end of it, completely transformed his character to end up running as governor.
Yeah.
I think the problem was the people that were around him didn't want him to succeed. So Tommy...
It wasn't that, bro. It wasn't that they didn't want him to succeed. They didn't want to let him go, bro.
Exactly.
Because he was so good at what he did. And And Tasha said it in the first episode. I watched it yesterday. So Ghost says to her, he goes, "When you first met me, what did you think I was going to be?" And she says, the best drug dealer ever, basically.
Yeah.
and he was really good at it. He was very organized. He had a good setup. He had a good system. But you could tell from the first episode that Ghost wanted more than just being a drug dealer. He wanted to be a successful businessman, and that's why he opened Truth. And he was already planning on opening the second and third and fourth one, because he said
You know
he's
what
going to
it is,
open another one in New York, another one in Miami, and another one in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
It was when he was telling Angela in episode 2, that he wanted to open more. And at that point, you could see that Ghost doesn't want to keep doing what he's doing.
Yeah, and you know what it is? Tommy is one of the funniest characters I've seen, because nobody plays this character better than him. The guy is like, not in a bad way, he's mentally unstable. So on the one hand,
not in a bad way. Come on, bro. The guy was a loose cannon,
so
bro.
the funny thing is, if you had him on your side, he was your best right hand man.
Mhm.
But the problem is that he was so fixated on that life that he doesn't know anything.
He didn't want out of it, basically.
He never wanted out. In fact, Ghost wanted him to take over the business, but he knew he wasn't good enough to do it anyway.
He couldn't do it on his own, because he'd never done anything on his own like that. He'd always done it with Ghost. And I think that's what stopped him doing it on his own. Even though I think he could do it on his own, he just didn't want to. Like, he didn't want to let Ghost go because he was his best friend.
Yeah.
Now, another part of this is from this is from memory, bro. So Tommy finds out who his dad is.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah. You know where I'm going with this. And Ghost got involved in all that and messed it up with Tommy. That's how he messed it up with Tommy. Like, he got his dad killed. But his dad was snitching on him for the feds.
Yeah, I know.
That's why he was out of prison, and Tommy couldn't see that. If he saw that, Tommy would have killed him himself, bro.
Yeah, that's what that was. When I was watching that particular segment, it tore me up inside, because I'm saying, Tommy, wake the hell up, man.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
Your dad's doing you dirty, because I realized where this came from. So when Ghost had to go to prison for killing the police officer, or allegedly killing the police officer,
Ray. The one who killed his daughter.
Not Ray. What's his name? What's his name?
Do you mean Angela's boyfriend?
Yeah. So allegedly, yeah.
Greg.
Yeah, Greg. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember. He didn't kill him, but
yeah,
I know.
He got thrown in prison. Then there was this Kala dude, in prison dude. I don't even remember his name. My bad. Anyway, this guy's
that's where Ghost met Tommy's dad, isn't it?
Yeah, that's where he met.
Yeah,
and that's where you realize he was putting pressure. And the funny thing is, he then instigated it as a way of him getting released and blackmailing Ghost to say, "Look, I'm gonna do this, and this."
Yeah,
and he was feeding information. It's crazy.
So Tommy's dad, while he was out of prison, was keeping tabs on Tommy, and he was asking him a lot of questions about the business. And Tommy was giving him the information because it was his dad and he trusted him. But his dad was snitching on him at the same time. He was giving that info to the feds.
Can I tell you the funniest bit of the series that I remember? And I really enjoyed this bit. So, Tommy had a thing for Holly. The host.
That's her name, bro. I was literally about to ask you, what's that bird's name, man?
Yeah, Holly.
Tommy was seeing.
It was hilarious, because I remember the first episode. Tommy was like, the ghost. Who's that pretty brunette?
He actually says it. Yeah, and
go your hands off the merchandise.
Yeah, exactly. And then I actually watched that episode yesterday. Tommy goes in and sees her and asks her for something, and she goes. She basically tries to blank him and go around him.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, send this bottle to VIP." And she goes, "I don't work VIP." And then Tommy just looks at her and goes, "Do you want to?" Yeah. And then they have a little bit of a connection. She goes away and they're just staring at each other, smiling. You could tell at that point something was going to happen there. But the crazy bitch got herself killed, bro.
No, but here's the best bit. So that wasn't the best bit. The best bit was, I remember when Angela Valdez picked up Holly for
Yeah.
questioning
Yeah,
that
yeah.
about the ghost. The bit in the toilet was hilarious because there was a scene in the toilet, as you can remember. Holly, why are you giving yourself up for ghost? And she just opens the door and says, "What do you mean? Because Tommy's ghost." And she goes, and then she remembered the flashback from seeing Ghost and Angela, and was like, "You dumb bitch, you're the one." Oh, and when I saw that bit unload, I was like, "This." I couldn't stop laughing because I was
Is
like,
that the scene where Angela finds out
"Yeah, she
Jamie's
collapsed.
ghost?
Yeah, she collapses on the ground, and she's like, then she plays with him, and not plays with him, but she starts ignoring Ghost, and then I
Yeah.
think eventually she just confronts. But Ghost is really good because what he would do is, "Who told you that? Am I?"
Yeah. He's like,
He's
what?
good at covering
I
his
don't even know
tracks.
what you're talking about.
What are you talking about? Yeah, so
Yeah,
that
man.
I just wanted to bring
So
that up there.
there's a couple of other. So I'm gonna try and bring up some characters that I think were key in the series. Besides, obviously, Tommy, Ghost, Kanan, Tasha, and Angela that are on there. There's what's his name? The solicitor in the first few seasons, the young one.
Proctor.
Huh? Proctor.
Yeah.
That's the one. That guy's a sick character, bro.
Oh yeah.
The way they try to kill him in Ghost's house, they spray the whole place up. Tariq set that up because he left the door open for him to die.
Yeah, he set it up. I mean, it all goes. But you know the
This is
funny
why
thing
I
is,
don't like Tariq, bro. The guy's a little rat, bro.
no, but yeah, I know. Before you get onto that, so let me talk about Proctor. The way Ghost lured him in was hilarious. He goes, "I need you to sort something out," and Proctor was like, "No." But then Proctor goes, But Ghost goes to Proctor. "I know your sister takes no, so your wife takes drugs, and you get them from me. So unless you want me to go out and tell everybody." So he basically lured him into the doing it.
Yeah. I
But
remember
the
that.
thing,
Yeah,
the thing that I'm glad you mentioned Tariq. I still remember the first episode where he's like an innocent Sida
yeah.
Sada
He's
Bacha.
like a little butcher in it,
He's
bro.
like
And
a
then
bit
at the
playing
end of
Xbox
season
and
6,
whatever.
he's a little rat.
Oh, rah, bruv.
He kills Ghost, man. I can't believe it.
But I think you know what Tariq's downfall. When I say downfall, I mean the spiral downwards is a result of the surroundings he grew up in. So he was fine going to school, blah blah
So
blah.
I think what got Tariq into the situation that he was in was Dre being a little snitch.
Dre,
Kanan
oh,
was a big part in that because Ghost was close to Sean, who's Kanan's son, the driver in
yeah.
the first season and whatnot, and then Kanan tried to do the same with Tariq, like get close to him and help him out. Like it was kind of like a revenge thing. Do you know what I
Yeah, it
mean?
turns out that Kanan was better to Tariq
Than his own
oh,
son, yeah.
than his own. But you know what? I have to say, and I had to throw this in before I forget the topic.
Go for it, bro. Go
The
for it. Chuck
fact
it.
that the fact is, this shows how great Ghost was. Even after his death, and when Tasha went in to say claim the inheritance or whatever, she said,
Yes.
"Tariq, you getting it? But son, go to college." So that tells you that he
He
no
planned
matter how
ahead.
much Tariq messed up, he said, "I want you to be the man that I never was. I'm gonna give you the funds, but you gotta do something." Tasha, unfortunately, I don't know what happened to her. Basically, she just disintegrated
Tasha
as a
was
character.
Tasha, like from the first season, when she goes to the nightclub, yeah, I remember it was I think it was episode 2, maybe, or episode 1.
Yeah,
So she goes to the nightclub dressed up and she asks where Ghost is, and the guy says, "I'll take you to him." And she goes, "Oh no, I've got a better way of getting him to notice me." So she starts dancing with some other people that she knows. And at this point, Ghost is at the top, on the balcony in the
yeah,
VIP
yeah,
area. And
VIP, yeah.
that's when he sees Angela for the first time after like 18 years. And it looks like he's obviously going downstairs. And from Tasha's view, she thinks Ghost is coming to get her, but he goes right past her. He doesn't even notice her and goes straight to Angela. And that's where Ghost messed up, bro. That's where Angela realized this guy he's gonna be banging this other bird, and
Yeah, but I think
Because that's when she started flirting with Sean more, the driver.
dude, Tasha would flirt with anything that moves. That's the problem, bro.
Nah, but then
That's fucking hilarious.
even after that, Tasha was sleeping with Terry Silverman,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and he got himself killed for sleeping with her. He got
There you go,
left in
man.
the back of a car, bro.
Dumped him, bro. Dumped
Dumped
him.
his body, just left him gone, mate. Done and dusted. Done and dusted.
You
Well,
know the.
let's talk a little bit about Kanan, bro, because obviously he is
Oh
a
wow.
key. He's key to all this. Now, I'm not going to talk about book 3, which is raising Kanan, because that's gonna ruin it for you, bro. That's how Kanan was raised and got to where he was, basically. But from what we know in Power from season 1 up to 6 about Kanan is that at the start he was in prison.
Yeah.
And he's the one that got Tommy and Ghost into the game.
Yes.
And he taught them everything. Now, the part that I got surprised about is because Tommy and Ghost were always talking highly of Kanan. But then further in, you find out it was Ghost and Tasha that set him up to go to prison. Because in episode 1 or 2, do you know when they get all the guns?
Yeah.
And they arm all their runners?
Yes, correct.
They talk about what it's going to be like if they get pulled by the police, because they're not just going to get done for the drugs, they're going to get done for the firearm. And then
Yeah.
I think Ghost at that point mentions Kanan, like what happened to Kanan, because he knew he was going to be strapped. And that's why they got him pulled over by the police. They smashed his glass on the back end of his car. So he get arrested with the drugs and the firearm. Now, Tommy didn't know that Ghost and Tasha did that. Because when he found out, he flipped on Ghost.
Yeah, but Tommy is the kind. I'll go back to something I said. Tommy is a very emotional character because
Oh, yes.
he would hold on
he's
to
mentally unstable, but very
mentally
emotional, bro.
hold on to sentimental things. Now you know what? The fact that Ghost did what he did meant that he knew he could manage the business better than Kanan. Now Kanan is a thug. Ghost is a businessman because
Yeah, exactly.
Ghost knows when to switch characters, which is why you would never find out if anything ever happened because he was so good at covering his tracks. He didn't. His downfall was, as you said, as we said at the start of the show, wasn't as a result of he went clean, but
It
like the
wasn't something
people
that he did wrong. It's someone that he reignited his relationship with.
Yeah, and this is where Tommy needed to.
But the thing is, it's not just Angela that caused all this. Ghost brought quite a lot of it on himself, like turning on Kanan and putting him in prison. Obviously, they were going to find out eventually that he did it, right? That's one. The thing with Tommy's dad, that's two. And then just being really sneaky about certain things. Like he'd leave Tommy out of certain things, and that's what really got to Tommy is that we're supposed to be partners, but you're leaving me out of these things.
You know what I think messed it up, and this was quite sneaky on Kanan's part. So Kanan basically instigated the whole thing because Kanan said that, "Oh, I found out who ordered the
Set
hit,"
me up, yeah.
and he said Roller. So once Ghost killed Roller, that
Who's Roller,
actually
bro? You're gonna have to remind me who's Roller.
so Roller was part of the original crew that he taken over from Kanan. So
Yes, I remember now.
remember, so basically, Roller was the leader of the Rock Street Killers,
Yes,
given position by Ghost after associated to the distributor. Roller was supporting the protagonist. So basically, he was like one of the main characters. We didn't really see him much, but he was effectively Ghost right hand man. So basically, Kanan made him turn on that, and then what that did. And do you remember the girl that he hired? So the girl he hired was from Miami, the one that would wear the brunette
yeah,
headscarf.
the one who was killing people at the start.
Yeah, that nobody could figure out what happened because everybody was getting
Yeah.
killed left, right, and
Yeah,
center.
the girl with the like the red pink shoes and
Yeah,
stuff.
yes,
Yeah,
correct.
yeah, I
Yes.
remember. Yeah, I saw her in the first 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So she literally
she's the one
tried.
that she was the one that attacked that girl in the lift, weren't she?
Yes.
And then that girl went to hospital and had the big cut down her face,
Yeah.
and they said you can't work for us no more. They sent Julio with some flowers to her in hospital and said
Oh,
like,
who? Yeah,
basically,
Tommy wanted Julio to kill Ghost.
nah,
Was
nah,
like,
nah. So this is what Ghost did wrong, bro. So Ghost and Tommy had a discussion about what to do with the girl, yeah?
yeah,
And Tommy said that we should kill her,
yeah,
but Ghost didn't want to. But I think Tommy was expecting her to die. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
But Ghost just sent Julio after to go see her at hospital, give her some flowers, and say you can't work for us no more. In that way, but they gave her another role in the business. They kept
yeah,
her on. So Ghost was very clever in keeping her in the business, but in a different role, so people won't recognize her because obviously that scar on her face is going to make her very recognizable. And they didn't
yeah.
want her on the streets. They wanted, their people were people that blended in.
Hmm.
So I think Ghost was very clever in that part. But when Tommy found out, when Julio told him after the pickup at the laundrette, he got in the car with Tommy, and Tommy basically bigged him up, saying, "Oh, you killed her and this that." But he's like, "Oh no, Ghost didn't tell me to ice her. He
Yeah,
just told me to move her into a different position." And Tommy's like, "What?" And then Julio's, "Oh, did I get it wrong? Did I get it wrong?" Like Julio thought he heard wrong, but like
yeah,
Ghost is like, Tommy's like, "Nah, you didn't. Obviously, you've done what Ghost told you to do, but that's not what
yeah,
what I was expecting. I was expecting her to die in it." So Ghost did these little things that got to Tommy, and it was just building up all the way through. Now, another key part in this is is a guy that I don't like in this series, bro. It's Cooper Sacks,
oh, Cooper Sacks,
the
Cooper
cop.
Sacks, Cooper Sacks.
The guy is
Oh man,
such a piece of shit, bro. From episode one, bro, he tried to take Angela's job, and he was always trying to do something to get ahead in his career. And where did that lead him, bro? It got him sacked at the end. Towards the end, he got sacked. Remember, he was turned into an alky,
yeah,
and then
he downed. He just couldn't handle it.
he was one of the suspects on Who Killed Ghost because he
That's
was at the
crazy.
club, and Tariq saw him at the club, didn't
Yeah,
he? Yeah, and he could have done it. He was there to do it, but Tariq had already done it. Like there was a lot of people that could have done that.
it could have been Councilman Tate. You never know, man.
Oh man,
Rashad
Rashad
Tate was.
Tate, that piece of shit
Rashad.
as well. I can't stand that guy, man. I could not stand that guy.
Oh man.
Honestly, I couldn't stand him, man. He was from the first moment he came into it, I'm like, nah, this guy's a piece of shit. I don't like this guy. Get away from him. He's gonna give you trouble in it. And he did. He made trouble for everyone, including that he got involved in the foundation that Ghost made for his daughter.
Yeah.
And he was messing around with that, and Ghost didn't like it. He's like, nah, you can do what you want, but stay away from that. That's for my daughter.
So did you know who else we should talk about?
Let's
Do you
go.
remember Jukebox,
Jukebox.
the female cop,
Oh
basically?
yeah, yeah. Jukebox. The
Yeah,
one who was with Ray Ray.
Ray Ray and Kanan towards the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I
Wow.
got a feeling that she's in. Yeah, that's Juke. Yeah, yeah. So I don't want to ruin it for you, but she's in Raising Canaan as well.
Yeah, because they grew up together. So
Yeah.
from what?
So basically, she's Canaan's cousin.
Yeah.
So Canaan's mum has two brothers, and she's the daughter of one of those brothers.
Hmm.
Season 1 of Raising Kanan is very interesting, bro. You need to watch it. But yeah, I actually didn't realize that that character was her until you just mentioned her. Now I've just googled it and it's given me her full name, and it's the same name from Raising Kanan, that the first season that I've watched. But yeah, you should you should get that, bro, and watch that. But yeah, she's very key in helping Kanan. She was like, obviously they're cousins, they're very, very close. They had each other's back from day one.
Yeah, that's true.
Like the way Kanan got killed by the cops, didn't he?
Yeah, he wasn't going out.
Because he didn't want to go back to prison. He got caught kidnapping Tariq.
No, that was basically. So
Hold
if
on.
you can remember. Oh, days, my days, my days. This vexed me out. So basically, you know the whole gun situation that Tariq had. They planted that gun in Kanan's car. Nobody knew about it except for Tasha. So when Ghost asked, Ghost was like, "Are you stupid, Tasha?" Because he knew that Kanan wasn't gonna go down without a fight, and the fact that Tariq was with him, he lost it at that point.
No, so that's what I mean. Tariq was with him and the cops stopped him. And
Yeah,
Tariq basically said that he's kidnapped me. And then that's when Kanan got killed, didn't it?
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was a bad way for him to die because he was a key character.
Well, I thought he died when Ghost killed him to start with behind that warehouse. It turns out
Yeah.
that he was like the Undertaker risen from the ashes.
That's it. So do you know what I actually really liked? So do you know what season was it where Raina got killed? Was it the end of season 3?
Yeah, end of season 3.
Yeah. So when they all got back together, when Kanan, Ghost, and Tommy all got back together for season 4 as a
Yeah,
crew, and they went after who did it, I thought that was sick. I absolutely loved it because
they had to, man. They had to.
it showed the bond that they had. They even though they were kind of enemies, they still didn't let that get, that Raina died and Tommy's like, yeah, she's my niece. She's like my niece. Kanan's like, yeah, she's
What?
family.
Yeah, can you remind me what was the issue that Ray had with Tariq? What was? Do you remember? So I know that Tariq was sort of influenced in bad company, and I don't know whether Ray just had beef for him because Tariq did like Ray's sister. I
Yeah,
don't
he
know
did,
whether
yeah.
that played a part, but just so I get your take, just remind me if you can, because I thought that was quite messed up. Why would
So
he?
I think I think this was because Ray was a corrupt cop in it,
Yeah,
and I think he just didn't want
anyone finding out
Tariq.
the figure? Yeah,
Anyone he didn't want Tariq to rat him out. Basically, I
yeah.
think that's what it was. I'm not 100% sure on that, bro,
No, that's fine. I just thought I'd bring that
because
up with you afterwards.
he was working with Duke, weren't he?
Yes.
Yeah. Duke, remind me how Duke died, bro. Did she die?
Oh, Jukebox died at the hand of Kanan. Basically, Jukebox
Yes.
was like,
Yes.
Kanan, tell Tariq who you really are. And Kanan manned up and was like, Tariq, I'm a bad man. I did this with your dad, this blah blah blah. And she literally was about to kill Tariq and make basically as revenge for Kanan's thing because she thought they were on the same thing. And then Kanan was like, bang! Kanan just shot Jukebox, killed her off. That for me was like surprising because I was like, okay, so Kanan isn't all that bad because he's got some form of humanity. But the funny thing is, even after Kanan told Tariq all this stuff about his son, how he killed Sean and whatever, he still was still hanging out with him. That's how
Right,
funny
right. It
it
was
was.
the end of season 4 where
Yes.
Ray killed her. Sorry. Sorry
Yeah.
to interrupt you there, bro.
No, that's fine. Yeah. So yeah,
It
man.
was something to do with Dre. I'm just reading about it here. It's something to do with Dre.
Dre.
I
What
think
we gonna do about you, bro? What we gonna do about you?
I'm just trying to figure out what happened here, bro. So it says here Tariq confesses to his sister who Ray really is, then swears her to secrecy. She promises not to tell. Later in the hour, both kids go to the school dance, and when Tariq gets a text from Destiny, the girl he's been seeing, who happens to be Ray's cousin, but it's really Ray who's waiting outside for him with a gun. Tariq runs, but when Raina comes out looking for him, she finds the crooked cop and confronts him, saying, "I know who you are, Ray. You need to leave my brother alone." And that's when she gets killed.
Yeah,
But I'm trying to figure out why Ray was actually looking for him.
yeah. That's what I want. That's what I was. Is this something Dre did? Because Dre must have instigated something.
Right. So it says here, I'm just going to read this little piece out here.
Yeah.
Ray, Bryans, and Kanan get involved with various house robberies of Tariq's friends, in which Tariq would distract them and keep them occupied and have them drink lean with it, while he, Bryans, and Kanan rob the house. Sorry, one sec. Without obviously anyone noticing. But then when Ray shows up and starts asking Bryans and his friend Big Country about what happened the day they killed a homeowner, they throw Tariq under the bus and reassure Ray that he won't say anything to the authorities. He reminds them that Ghost is Tariq's dad. Kanan is all up in the whole mess, and that now everyone is involved in the home invasion is a giant liability. So I think Ray was just trying to kill people off
Mm,
so they don't get caught about the house robberies that they were doing.
okay, fair enough.
That's why he was trying to kill Tariq. And obviously Raina opened a big mouth and got herself killed, bro.
Interesting. That's crazy.
Yeah, man, it is, man. Let's talk about Dre, bro. Let's talk about him. So originally, he's hired by Ghost in Truth to take over the role of the manager in it.
Well, if you go back to the very beginning, he's Kanan's right hand man who goes out to Miami and
Kanan brings him
kills
into it, yes.
Kanan because at this point he's a thug. He doesn't know any different. He just follows instruction. His
Mhm.
transformation was remarkable. How he went from that to running a club was like, wow, what?
Yeah, but he only got that job because they needed him in the crew and helping out, but they
Yeah,
didn't realize he was a liability and he was going to get everyone killed.
crazy, bro.
Now, from what I've heard, bro, there's meant to be a book 4 on Tommy when he's moved out to the West Coast.
Okay.
That's what I've heard. But book 2, which is about
Tariq.
Tariq and his mum, and obviously Tariq going through college and whatnot, and what he's doing. It's about all that. I won't say too much about the other characters in it because they're all new.
Mm,
We'll get onto that obviously when you start watching it, and we'll talk a little bit about it then. But yeah, Tariq's transformation from season 1 to 6 is magnificent, man. It's a huge change. He's like gone from a little innocent kid playing Call of Duty or whatever with Tommy to a liar who shot his dad.
You know what? He basically heard the story of Breeze, what Ghost did to Breeze, and he basically did the same to his dad, which
Yeah.
was crazy, bro. I like of all the people to pull a
Hmm.
trigger, he was the
So
one I least expected to be the one to do it.
something I wanted to ask you, bro. So obviously you know what happens here. Not Tommy. Ghost and Angela meet up at the school when Tommy kills Angela. But they
Yes.
were they were ready to run away together at that point. Like Angela was ready to leave her job as an FBI agent or whatever and run away with Ghost.
Yeah.
And I want it's interesting. It's an interesting question. What do you think would have happened if Tommy didn't kill her at that point? Would Ghost and Angela have just ran away and disappeared forever, or what do you think would have happened, bro?
I think Tommy was actually aiming for Ghost.
No, he was aiming for Ghost, but he killed Angela at
Yeah,
that point. So the question is, what would have happened if he didn't kill either of them at that point?
I think that would have been the end of the story for that part. I think
Because
if he,
they could have ended Power there, and
yeah,
then started a new book on where Ghost and Angela are.
yeah, I think that's what they would have done.
And I
But I
think that
think
would have been really interesting because Ghost would have just moved away, but carried on running Truth and just opened more branches.
bro, you and me both know, Ghost had his future secure. The problem
Yeah.
is, as Tariq said it in the penultimate episode, he says everything you've done in life is all about you. So actually, Ghost's intentions were always positive, but the
Mhm.
problem is everybody always saw Ghost's actions as, oh, this is about me, this is about me, and what it teaches you is that that Tariq, Tasha, Tommy were so disenfranchised from how Ghost was changing that they
Yeah.
couldn't accept it. They were like,
Yeah, because
"Wow,
Ghost, obviously, after Ghost died, you see his will and what he, who he gave
yeah,
money to. He gave money to Angela's sister, and then he gave money to, obviously, he gave it to Tariq, but said you have to have
yeah,
a
college
degree, a
education."
qualification or a college education at a certain level, and then you can have it.
Hmm.
And it was very interesting because Ghost was you wouldn't have seen Ghost planning that in the future. He was planning for the future of his family and his kids, and that's what he was doing. That's why he wanted to get away from the drug business because he wanted to go legit.
Hmm. No, that's fair enough. Yeah.
But I'll let you talk a little bit about what you thought of Power, bro.
You know what? Since you introduced me to it, I got hooked onto it. I mean, I
I
thought every
remember that as well, bro. Like you said earlier, we were sat down chilling, and I'm like, bro, have you seen Power? And you're like, nah, I've not seen Power. What's that? And I'm like, you know what? Netflix is here. Let's put episode one on, and you let me know what you think. This guy watched episode one with me, went home, didn't go to sleep, and bashed out the first season all night.
yeah, pretty much.
Because the first season was only 8 episodes, but still 7 episodes in one night, bro. That's a bit extreme. But then I think he finished all 6 episodes. Was it in 10 days, bro?
Yeah, I finished up 6 seasons in 10 days.
This guy watched 6 seasons of Power in 10 days. It's like he had no sleep.
Oh, I blame lockdown. So don't blame me. Blame Boris.
Yeah, it was during lockdown, but bro, you were still working from home.
Yeah, well, perks of working from home, eh? You don't have to
That's
drive
it.
anymore.
That's the perks, bro. That's some of the perks.
I can get up, watch a show. But you know what? I like shows like that because they grip you mentally. Say like, you know,
Mm.
I should be hitting that cross button at the top right. I should be going to sleep, or it's something like when you're engaged in a discussion. But anyway, I'll go off on a tangent.
Nah, go for it,
Uh,
bro. You
I
go
I
on your
I
tangent, bro.
I have to say this is the most um compelling TV show I've seen since probably 24 Prison Break, Breaking Bad.
Mhm.
I have to rank this as one of the best I've seen.
No, it is.
Honestly,
It's a great TV
I
show,
can't
man.
go. And
Great TV show.
I hadn't even watched the full complete series as Shaz has said. So
Yeah,
I've
I
got
mean,
plenty
you
of
you haven't
catching up to do.
watched book two and three, have you? You haven't
No,
watched the first seasons of either of them.
I hadn't even got to that. So
So book two, season two is coming out in about 50 days now, bro.
I
So
got
you're
50
already
days
a
to catch
season.
up. I got
What's
50
that?
days. I got 50 days to catch up.
That's it, bro. That's it. So you can watch that season. Then Raising Canaan's the first season's just finished. And bro, what an ending, bro. That is a brilliant ending, bro. I'm not
Hmm.
even joking you, bro. Like
I mean,
book
let
book
me ask you
two,
this.
book two was a lot slower, bro.
Yeah.
Um, but it was still interesting. It was still interesting.
Hmm. Let me ask you this.
Go on.
Out of Power seasons 1 to 6, who was your favorite character?
Um,
Could be anyone.
I'm not too sure, bro. Like, I always thought Ghost was a great character because he was living that double life as a businessman and a drug dealer
Yeah.
and always a triple life. family man as well.
Family Man, yeah.
I always thought Ghost was the main character, and I liked his character. It was played very well by the actor. Is it Omar? Omar, I can't remember his last name. Apologies. I think it was played really well by him. Another character I liked was Julio.
Yeah.
I really like Julio. Now, the guy who plays Julio is actually in another series that I've been watching called Manifest. I'm not sure if you've seen it.
I've heard about it, yeah.
It's basically about a plane that went missing for 5.5 years, and then just mysteriously all the passengers and the plane turned up randomly 5.5 years later, like, but they didn't realize it'd been 5.5 years for them. There wasn't 5.5 years for them. It was just literally they set off and landed, but they were gone for 5.5 years. Everyone thought they were dead.
Are you talking about the Avengers Endgame?
No, I'm talking about Manifest, you madhead.
No, you know what? When you were
The
talking
guy who
about
plays Julio, in Power plays a character in Manifest. He plays a cop.
Well, let me look.
But it is a good show. I'm just saying, that's what I'm saying, bro. It's a very good show as well to watch. But power-wise, I don't know. Like I said, Angela was a very key character. I think if she didn't come into it, there wouldn't have been a lot of conflict between Tommy and Ghost. There wouldn't have obviously been the whole issue where he was cheating on his missus. There wouldn't have been that conflict between Tasha and Ghost. And I don't think Tariq would have hated him as much.
No.
And I don't think Ghost would have died. But then again, I don't think if she wasn't there, I don't think Ghost would have gone for governor. I think he was doing most of the things to get away from being Ghost and this drug dealer to be with Angela and be legit because she was a cop. Obviously, she can't be with a criminal because her task force was there to bring Ghost down, and she knew him. She knew he was Ghost, but she did nothing about it, and that's what she was being investigated about when she got killed.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah,
she was due to be called in for questioning about the whole situation with him. So I think she was a very key character. But you don't really see it from the start because at the start it's just two friends meeting up, chilling, and then they started getting close, and then they started, seeing each other behind Tasha's back. And I think at that point, didn't Angela have a boyfriend as well, Greg?
Yeah.
I don't know if she broke up with him before she got with Ghost. I can't remember, but Greg. In the first 2 episodes, Greg betrayed her.
He did.
So she was the lead. She was the lead on the task force. So everything should have gone through her. But her boyfriend Greg took instructions from Cooper Sacks.
Yeah.
But then when he told Angela about what happened, he forgot to give Cooper Sacks certain information about one of the characters that one of the dealers that they'd arrested was talking to Lewis's 14-year-old daughter.
Yes, correct. I remember.
So Angela used that to get information
sketch.
from him. Do you remember that?
Yeah, for the sketch that would pin the blame on Tommy, and then they ruled out as admissible, and that's where Angela's sort of career went down for the interim period.
And bro, that was Cooper Sacks that brought her career down.
Yeah.
It was all Cooper Sacks, bro. He was all about getting ahead in his own, on his own. That's what he was about. One of the characters that I really didn't like in this whole series. Just from the first episode, you could see that he would just, try and get ahead of everyone by stepping over them any way he could. Like you knew that he was a bit of a dick from the first episode, just by the way he was treating Angela and the way he was talking to her.
Yeah, no, that's true.
But what about you, bro? Who was your favorite character and why?
My favorite character was it's interesting. I had a number. I actually like Tommy because he was
Yeah.
the most unstable. Because watching Tommy was like eating popcorn and watching a suspense film because you never knew what the hell. You know
Yeah,
what?
yeah,
The
yeah.
funny thing is, he was with Holly, great girl.
Bro, that's what we need to talk about. Yeah. The situation with Tommy and Holly is obviously they got together, they moved in together really quickly, and she was trying to get Tommy to do more than
Yeah,
Ghost. Like she was trying to cause conflict between Tommy and Ghost. And I think at one point, didn't she steal something from Tasha? Like her earrings or something?
yeah. So this was when Tommy brought her around as a date, and
Yeah.
I
To
think
have dinner with the family. Yeah.
Holly was just walking around after
Reject him.
Tasha had showed her around, and one of the safes was open, and she just
Mm.
nicked it. Now the funny thing is, she nicked it, and then Tommy noticed, and or Tommy told her, and Tommy was vexed.
Yeah.
Tommy's type of
Tommy
character.
was that vexed at his own girlfriend. He killed her and then buried her, bro.
Well, yeah, that was because very unstable minded,
Because
and
she was trying to get between him and Ghost. That's what it was.
yeah,
And at that point, she knew too much. So if he broke up with her, she could have gone to the cops and say, "Well, Ghost is Jamie St. Patrick and Tommy's his business partner," and she knew
yeah.
everybody basically in the business. So he shouldn't have brought her into the business until he knew he could trust her.
Oh no, I hear you, bro. I
And
hear you.
then when it got to the point of breaking up, he had to either stay with her or kill her, basically. He couldn't stay with her because of the way she was, and she wanted Tommy to take over the business on his own and get rid of Ghost. And Tommy's like, no, I'm not doing that. Ghost is my bro. You know, we're brothers. We grew up together.
Yeah.
And then she's like, well, you know what I mean? It's either you kill him or it's me. And then obviously he killed her.
He killed her because she was forced to do something to protect Tommy, but what she didn't realize is Tommy does need protecting because Tommy's a unstable character himself.
100%.
Uh, and the way she died because she was pregnant at the time, but she didn't tell Tommy.
Yes.
So
Tommy
when
didn't
Tommy
know.
found out,
Yeah.
oh my days, when Tommy found out,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
oh,
Well, that's two of Tommy's girlfriends that died.
oh
There was
dear,
Holly at the start, like the first few seasons there, and then Lakeisha,
yeah,
because she got with Tommy, and then she was trying to do the same thing. She was trying to get Tommy to take over that business, but at that point, Tommy and Ghost weren't to get that mates with it.
hmm,
But Tasha realized that she'd been pulled by the cops, and they were threatening to take her son away. And Tasha saw the papers and then just popped her like nothing, bro. Like that was her best friend, like Tommy and Ghost, bro. They were best friends, and she just killed her like nothing, bro. Like nothing was wrong with it. She
that
didn't even
was
hesitate, bro. She just put a boom. She put some boom, boom, bam. You're done, mate. Gone. You're not my best friend no more. You're gone. It was
crazy. That was
crazy,
messed
bro. It
up.
was crazy the way she just. Tasha was very brutal. Like in the first few episodes as well, she went to dinner with Ghost, and Ghost told her what was happening, like people were being robbed and whatnot. And she brought up a story about, do you remember what happened? And you should do that. So basically, the guy that they caught in the guy who they killed in the elevator, they chopped his body up and sent his parts to all the different crews to as a warning. And that
Yeah.
idea came from Tasha. That's how brutal she is. You have to remember. Like, if she didn't give that idea to to Ghost and Tommy, then they never would have done that. Do you know what I mean? So she was part of, she was like heading, she was leader of that crew as well. Like she was the one that was cooking the books. Like she was an accountant or a finance. She was very good with finance, so she's the one that would do the books. She taught them how to do the books through businesses and how to clean the money properly, and that's why they never got caught doing that. So she was very key in that business as well.
Mm-hmm. No, that's true, bro.
What about you, bro? You tell me some characters, man, that you think were very key and some reasoning behind it, bro.
So I know it's kind of similar to what you just said. So
Mm.
one of the characters I absolutely hated was Dre. I couldn't stand him.
I can't stand
Uh,
that piece of shit, man.
so just the way he came into it, and then to see how
Like,
he got transformed was like
to be fair,
crazy.
bro, at the start, though, he was a decent character. It's
Oh
when he
yeah,
started doing all this shady and sly shit that I'm like, nah, that guy's he's just in it for himself.
no, that's true. I mean, I think my other favorite character, and I felt bad for this guy, was Sean. So Sean was actually a
Yes.
decent guy. He was probably caught in the wrong place at the wrong time because
Yeah,
he
he
was
wasn't made for
there was
that business.
yeah, he was never made for it. And I wish he hadn't said anything to. Imagine if he hadn't said anything to Kanan, then you
Mm.
never know how that story might have turned out. It could have gone
Yeah.
completely different. I mean, someone else I sort of character I enjoyed was obviously the Mike Sandoval, the FBI cop. So the
Mike.
reason I bring him up is I found him hilarious.
What's his name, bro? Say that name again.
Mike Sandoval. So you know the FBI agent.
Um, no. Oh, is he the one that was trying it on with Angela?
So Mike Sandoval is the FBI cop that was working for the U.S. attorney,
Yeah.
and they were actually tasked with trying to find Felipe Lobos. It actually turns out he was Lobos's right hand man.
Yes, yes. I
Yeah,
forgot about him, bro.
yeah.
Lobos' second hand man. Yes. The
And so
FBI agent who was a double agent, basically. Yeah.
yeah,
I've just remembered him, bro. So that's how Lobos kept ahead of everything because he knew what the FBI were doing before they were doing it because of this guy. I actually
yeah.
forgot about that guy, man.
That was some
Damn.
crazy shit, man.
Damn. I remember when Ghost killed Lobos on top of that building and then brought Dre there and it got pinned on Dre. You remember?
Yeah, I remember.
Because that's when Drake first got arrested, weren't it?
Hmm.
And that's when he turned into a little snitch.
Absolutely, bro.
And when Dre was leaving, like he was trying to leave after Ghost got killed, but he wasn't leaving because he tried to kill Ghost. He was leaving with his daughter and got caught, and the murder got
Yeah.
pinned on him, and that's why he was in prison.
Yeah, correct. Absolutely, bro.
But then Tasha got arrested for it, and you actually see Tasha's trial, go through the motions in book two.
Hmm.
There's a character. What's he called, man? I'm trying to remember his name now, man. Um, Give me a sec, bro. He's played by Method Man.
Okay.
He's basically a defense lawyer. I can't remember his name in the show, man. But yeah, he's played by Method Man, and he's the defense lawyer for Tasha, basically.
Hmm.
What's his name, man? Just let me try and find David McLean. That's the one, defense lawyer.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a very interesting character, bro. In book two, very interesting.
No, we'll definitely have to check that out.
You do need to watch book two.
And-
I'll tell you how I watched it later, man. Once we go offline,
yeah. No
um,
worries.
you can try it that way. But just trying to think, man. That at the end of it, when I watched it, because it was coming out weekly. So after Ghost got shot, there was about a couple of episodes and each episode was on a different person's lead up to killing Ghost. But you never
Yeah.
saw who shot Ghost until that last episode. And I thought it was a very good way of doing the last few episodes after Ghost got shot. They did one episode on Dre, one on Tasha, one on Tommy, and one on Tariq.
Yeah.
And it all led up to the same scene where Ghost got shot at the end, and you see him falling off the balcony.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was a very good way of ending it by showing who all the suspects are one by one in each episode.
Yeah.
Then at the end, you realize it was his son Tariq. And that was a very big twist in it because I wasn't expecting it to be Tariq because he's only 16. I wasn't expecting it to be Tariq.
No,
I was expecting Cooper Sacks, Dre, or Tommy. Those are the three that I had. I wasn't even expecting Tasha to be one of the suspects.
well,
Because if you watch
Tasha,
from season 1 to 6, Ghost and Tasha had problems throughout from season 1 to 6, but they always stuck together. They always ended up, being okay. So I just
well,
thought they're going through a bad patch and they're going to be all right.
unfortunately, they say happens in life. Power gets your head, and unfortunately,
Yeah,
people change. Money talks,
that's
mate.
what this show's about. The power that people can have and how it changes people. Like, look what happened to Dre. Look how Dre changed. Look at Tommy. Look how he changed. Look how Ghost changed. Look how Kanan changed. Look how Tasha changed, bro, when she got more power. Look at Angela when she got more power at the FBI. Look how she changed. But
Yeah, no, true, bro.
but Angela and Ghost, that relationship wasn't like Ghost was never expecting to see her again.
Yeah, no, true.
And when he takes her to dinner, they have a conversation of why she left, and she apologizes. And like Ghost is like, well, I understand why you left and whatnot, but my number never changed. I was on the same number. And when my dad died, I would have at least expected a phone call. And she goes, no, you know what? I'm sorry I wasn't there for you. I should have been there for you.
I thought that those guys could have actually worked out because
It would have worked out if all this shit didn't happen with Tommy. I think they would have worked out.
yeah,
But
Tommy
they
hated
would
her.
have had to keep Tasha in it because she's the one that did the books, bro.
Yeah, no, it was crazy how the whole thing panned out. But I didn't even see the ending coming, so it was like, okay,
Yeah,
that's definitely one thing I didn't see
exactly,
coming.
bro.
So
Exactly. Same here. Same here, man. Is there anything else that you want to add about Power, bro? I mean, because
no,
it's such a long series, there must be parts that we've missed out and not really talked about.
you
Because
know the reason why I bought the bits up that I did is because those are the bits that stood out for me. I mean, the simple fact is that Raina's death was actually quite pivotal because it actually
yes,
changed the relationship between Ghost and Tasha. So I know there were sort of
yes.
cracks in
It
their
also,
relationship.
to be fair, it also changed the relationship between Ghost and his son.
Yeah, Tariq,
I
it
think
made him
that's
more
where
violent.
Tariq started turning on his dad
Yeah.
when he was made to kill the guy that killed his sister. Well, he didn't get made to do it; he did it.
No, I'm glad.
But
I'm glad Tariq did it. I just wish that there was a better alibi to get it covered because so Tariq shoots
Ray Ray,
Ray, but the bullet gets lodged, and Tasha, because she had a brain fart moment, says, "There's a bullet here. Go check it." And then she tries to. Then Tasha's like, "But you do realize that he had the gun, blah blah blah." And then long story short, uh, Angela's like, "Oh damn! I actually told them to investigate." That's where another character comes in. That's quite interesting. Uh, the other cop that came in from district. What's her name again? Where is it?
or the female lead cop.
Yes.
What's her name, man? What's her name? Um,
Oh, here it is. Bianca Rodriguez.
Yes,
Yeah,
Rodriguez, the
yeah.
one who, yeah, I know who she is. Yeah, I know who you mean.
So she was basically Ray Ray's sort of deputy, and she was the one that placed him undercover. So they were investigating his murder, and
Yeah,
that's where the whole questioning came into the family. And because no one could keep their story straight, it was literally just it all went to pot. Uh, Somehow she ended
mm-hmm.
up on the FBI task force, which was quite
Yeah,
funny because it meant that Angela couldn't get rid of her. It meant that the questioning became a lot more intrusive,
mm-hmm.
and I think it was just one of those things that led to their downfall.
Yeah. No, you're right though, bro. You bang on with that. Um, you're right though. The death of Reina was very pivotal in this series. Very pivotal, bro.
Hmm.
I think that changed the you look like you said the relationship between Jamie and his wife and his son. It changed Tariq in a way because he lost his twin sister. They were twins, weren't they? From what I remember.
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct.
So he just lost his twin sister. He killed the guy that killed her, a 16-year-old who's just killed someone, and now his family are trying to help him cover it up. That's gonna mess with your head bad, bro. And that's what turned Tariq into what he is
Yeah,
like later on.
no, I agree, and I think Tariq was the other character I found interesting was obviously Tariq, just to see his transformation from childhood
I
to
hate
now.
Tariq. Like towards the
It
end,
was
I can't
crazy.
stand him, bro. I really can't stand him. Him, Dre, and Cooper Sacks are three characters I hate, bro, in this series. But book two is actually about Tariq, and I still watch it because it's the aftermath of who killed Ghost, and the trial of Tasha, and how Tariq obviously he'll eventually get the money.
Oh, he'll get the money.
I think
It's
he'll
just
get the money eventually. And I think they could do a whole spin off on Tariq after Power, of how he, how he uses that money, how whether he goes into the game his dad did, or if he becomes a successful businessman and stuff like that. Because you see the way he's going to turn out in book two. Like you
yeah,
see his business mind come alive in season two, in book two. Sorry. So you need to watch that, bro. But what we'll do, bro. I mean, I don't think there's any other bits and bats that we've missed out. There might be bits and bats that we've missed out that I can't remember right now because it's not very fresh. Um, but we can always revisit and do another one on Power, or maybe do it on book two, and then do one on book three later.
absolutely, bro. Yeah, sounds good.
Um, but yeah, it's been very, very interesting doing this episode, man, because it's the first time we've done it about TV shows and stuff like that. And I thought it was very interesting because we had a lot to talk about. And I still think there is a lot of other characters that we haven't really spoke about, bro. Like we didn't really speak about Cooper Sacks that much. We didn't speak about his boss. I can't remember her name. Um,
Oh, I know who you're on about. You're on
um,
about, yeah.
I don't know her name, man, but you might be able to bring it up. And then there's the guy who comes in. I think he's in the first few seasons, and then he comes back later. The guy who plays Han in Fast and Furious.
Oh, the copper. Yeah, yeah, I know who you're on about. Yeah.
There's other characters obviously that we haven't spoke about. Um, but I don't think they're very significant characters. They're just like they're there in it type of
I'm
characters.
just trying to
Um,
see if I can find them.
Yeah, man, just bring some names up. Like, so we'll end it in a bit, but what I want you to do, bro, get a list of all the characters in Power, and we'll drop the names and we'll give our thoughts on those characters. Yeah.
Okay, so let me go through them, and then we'll give some thoughts because I've got that list in front of me. So obviously I know we talked about this at the start, but jukebox.
I think she's very key to what do you call him, Kanan.
Yeah.
think she's very key. I think she's a key character. What's the name? What's the name of the guy who plays Ghost? I can't remember his name.
Omari Hard. Let me just open it.
Oh, Omari Hardwick. There we go.
Yeah, Omari Hardwick. Great actor, by the way.
Oh, he is. He's a very good actor, man. Very good actor. Yeah. I think he played the role of Ghost very well.
No, he did. Yeah, I love this character. Tommy Egan as well. I always compared him to Eminem. That's like, I can see Eminem.
Very, very good, mate. That's a very good way of thinking about him, man.
Next one is Lakeisha Grant.
I don't know. I think she was just in the wrong place at the wrong time most of the time.
Angela Valdez.
I think Lakeisha was very jealous of Tasha's lifestyle.
Yeah.
Because in the first few episodes, she's always saying, "Oh, Ghost looks after you," and all this and that. So, bro, I'm going to give you a couple of characters, yeah?
Go on.
Obviously, we spoke about Ghost and Angela and Tasha and all the main ones. What about Cooper Saxe, bro? Your thoughts on Cooper Saxe?
Prick.
Is that all you're saying? Yeah, prick.
Nothing more needs to be said.
Julio?
Oh, legend. Love the character.
Same here, bro. Same here, man.
Save the day.
That Max Sandoval that you mentioned earlier, the double agent,
two-faced mug.
Two-faced mug. Wow. Holly.
Oh, Holly.
I'll give you my thoughts on that. Unfortunate fate. That's all. That she had an unfortunate fate.
She did, but she also had.
She brought it on herself, though.
Yeah, she did. It was like when I saw her at the start, she seemed innocent, and then she turns out she's not as innocent because she liked the dark side of what Tommy did, but what she didn't. She had a bit of a temper as well. So the problem is, two people with tempers don't often go well together. So that.
Yeah, no, you're right, man. You're right. There's another character that I don't know if you remember him, bro. Cristobal.
Oh, Cristobal. Yeah, who can
I think he was the other Connect, weren't he?
Yeah, he was.
He was the other Connect that they were getting the stuff from.
Nah, he was an interesting one. I mean, I did, like I said, probably not as prominent as some of the ones that we have seen, but talked about. But, yeah.
What about Cantos, the manager of the nightclub in the first season? Because he didn't know what was going on. Like, he didn't know about the drug side, did he?
I didn't have a problem, but when Cantos took over there from Ghost, I called him a snitch. I said, "You don't do that, bruv." That's why he got right when he got kicked out. I thought that was the best decision ever.
Yeah, no, definitely, bro, definitely. What about Tamika Robinson? That's the character I was talking about.
Oh,
like
the
Cooper
cop,
Saxe is the cop, yeah.
Interesting, because I think at one point she had literally given up on ever catching ghosts and the killers and stuff like that. And I think, you know what she did? She basically jumped off the bandwagon at that time because she said, "I don't want to get involved with this anymore. I just need to jump off because it's just an ugly, messed up." Eventually did get worse for those that were on board.
What about Tony Teresi, Tommy's dad?
Oh man, what a mug!
I'm just dropping names. I've got a big list here, bro. Terry Silver.
Terry Silver, unfortunate, nice guy, but nice guys don't win in life. And yes.
Terry Silver wasn't a nice guy, man. I didn't like him. What about Simon Stern? The rich guy who tries to buy the club or loans the money to him.
That basically was trying to buy truth. Yeah, he's an interesting character. I think, you know what, he actually helped Ghost in the end get to the position and help him see
he did,
perspective.
Some of these other characters aren't very big. What about Ramona Garrity? I think she's the one that helps out with the campaign.
Okay, yeah, the love of Ghost.
Rashad Tate's life.
Yeah. Well, she went over to Ghost, but then obviously Rashad Tate
Yeah.
controlled and manipulated there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
As he
great.
does. Standard
Yeah,
for him, the little prick. I don't think there's any other characters that I can really name, bro. The other characters, they haven't been in that many episodes. They're all like 5 or 6 episodes, so
yeah,
they're not very big characters. Besides Felipe Lobos, he was in like 10 episodes, but then obviously Ghost kills him and then blames it on Dre.
yeah.
Obviously Sean's in it. Like I said,
Sean was a
Sean
great
shouldn't have
character, which
been
is
Sean shouldn't have been in the business.
yeah,
Like Tommy brought him into it. Like Ghost had him there, but only as a driver. It was Tommy that
yeah.
wanted him to learn the
Tommy told him to
ropes
say, yeah. Tommy
because
told him
Tommy
to say,
kept saying your dad would want us to teach you the ropes, but it was too late. Like he was what? He was quite old at that time, wasn't he?
yeah. He's only pretty much an adult by that time. And you can't
We'll,
change
we'll,
him to that old.
we'll
Because
end it with the last name, Shaz, and we'll both give our thoughts on him. Kanan.
oh, legend. Legend.
How key do you think he was to this series?
I think he's the glue that kept the series alive. I mean, he's the glue that gave us the reason to watch 1 to 6 seasons. I love the intro music to this show. I can't get out of my head.
Go on, bro. Give us a bit of a tune.
Oh, come on, you're gonna make me give a tune now. This is
Yeah,
a
yeah.
big witch town. And then I can't remember the rest of it, but it's hilarious because I actually play that song as my ringtone now. But yeah, I
Just a
mean,
heads up, bro. WhatsApp seems to be working now. All these messages just come through to me.
don't tell me my WhatsApp is about to explode. Yeah, and everything's working now.
That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah, man. It's all just come through now. Nice, finally.
Yeah, mine's just blown up, mate. I've just had all these messages just come through like at once, like 5 or 6 of them from different people. Man, madness, madness. But yeah, man, Kanan, I think very key. If it wasn't for him, Tommy and Ghost wouldn't be doing what they're doing. Sean wouldn't be involved, and Tasha wouldn't be like the business wouldn't be where it is without Kanan, because obviously he probably got them in touch with Lobos, if you ask me. Because at the start, you see how scared Tommy and Ghost are of Lobos,
Yeah,
but then they realize that they don't need Lobos; they just need another connect.
no, that's true.
So yeah, Kanan's very key. I just think that they didn't do enough with Kanan. They should have done more with him. And the way he died was it's kind of ironic because he didn't want to go to prison and he got killed by a cop. So it's one of those, isn't it? But yeah, man, I thought Power was a brilliant series. So what we're gonna do, Shaz, we're both gonna do a rating out of 5 stars. So you give it a rating from season 1 to 6 as a whole series. What do you rate Power out of 5 stars? 5?
Yeah,
Do you know what? You're not even wrong, bro. I was going to say 5 as well. And the reason I'm saying that is because the characters were all really good characters.
great storyline, great characters,
Great
great
story,
plots.
great plot, great twists. And now what they're doing is they're even giving you a backstory on Kanan with raising Kanan. They're showing you how Kanan got to where he was or how he was in power from
No,
how he was
the
a youngster with his family and
one
stuff.
good thing I have to say, and I know we're not going to touch upon it too much because
Mm-hmm.
we have gone
You've not
quite a
seen
bit,
it.
but it's great. It's great to see that they're putting this book 2 about Tariq, book 3 Raising Canaan, book 4, like you said, hopefully coming up. So they're exploring all of these different storylines and bringing different twists to say this is their storyline, this is this storyline, this is how they
Mm-hmm.
go into it.
Yeah.
But overall, loved it. Great, can't complain.
No,
Uh,
definitely, bro. You're definitely right, bro. Definitely right. I just think it was a very good series. It was very well put together. They thought of everything in this. They thought of all the twists, all the turns. They made it interesting from start to finish, bro. Every episode, someone was getting killed. If you notice, there was always someone getting, whether it was someone turning the back on someone or another crew attacking them or something like that. I think Cristobal, was he the leader of the other crew, Jimenez crew?
Yeah,
Or was that
he was.
that was the woman? What was her name? There was a woman that was the leader of that crew, bro, the Jimenez crew.
Oh, you're talking. Oh, yeah, I know.
I don't remember what they were called now. But
oh, the Jimenez.
the Jimenez crew.
Yeah.
You know who I mean, don't you?
Yeah, I know. I've got the name here. Because we were just talking about it, actually. I don't know why I didn't bring it up. 1 second.
Because I think they're key. They're key in that the season that they were in. I think it was 5, maybe 6. They were key there as well, bro. Because they were the connect.
They were the main ones, the overarching ones.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there was Diego Jimenez and the
sister.
The sister. What was the sister's name?
I can't remember.
Hold on, I'll find it now.
I'll have a look as well, man.
Alicia Jimenez.
Alicia Jimenez. There you go.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I think they were the ones that the cops wanted as well, because they actually arrested the sister, didn't they, or the brother at one point, and they had to release it because they had no evidence.
That's true. Yeah.
I thought it was very key though that they were involved. But I don't think there's, besides them, I think those are all the main characters that we really spoke about. The ones that stand out. I don't think there's any other key characters that we really missed.
No, that's true, bro. That's true.
So yeah, man, what we'll do, as we've already give our rating, 5 out of 5. And what we'll do, bro, we'll end it now. It is getting quite late. We've got a busy day ahead of us tomorrow, as you know. So we'll end it here, but we may revisit Power on another episode and just talk about it a bit more if we can. But we'll be back next week with the finished cut, and we will bring you episode 2, possibly on a movie instead of a TV show.
Yeah.
But thank you everyone for tuning in. Appreciate everyone's love and support. But until next time, too sweet.